Welcome to Yoga Joy Fitness with me, Jo, and to today's yoga practice. If you do enjoy it, please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, let me know you've been watching, and get in touch using all the mediums below. When we're ready, we're going to come down to Shavasana. Take a nice, easy rest to begin. And just feel the body on the ground. It's very important for that connectivity with earth. And just kind of wriggle, wiggle, open the shoulders. I know, get a lot of tension in the shoulders, so just feeling the shoulder blades relax, and then wriggle the legs in the hip sockets and just let the hips release. And just, really kind of be the creator of your own relaxation, of your own tranquility. And then noticing the breath. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and out. One more long, slow, deep breath, please. And then you can just turn the palms down if they are facing up and bring the feet to the floor if they're not already there. And just have the feet hip width apart. And with that kind of slow, restorative yin type mentality, really gently rock the knees from side to side. So imagine you're in a competition to go the slowest out of anybody in the world. So you're really trying to keep moving, but super, super, super slow. And you're just rolling those knees and feel how it impacts on the lower back, on the hips, up into the side, into the rib cage. You get this pulling, tugging all the way along. So it's absolutely beautiful. So just feeling your way through it and just letting this continue. So it is continual, perpetual movement, but it's super slow, super considered, really mindful, really beautiful. And if you'd like to, what you can do is you can move the head as well. So the head can roll from side to side. Just feel how that is on the neck. And just allow yourself to fall into this rhythm. And we have the Ujjayi breath, the breath of the waves, the breath of the wind, this oceanic, beautiful rhythm of breath. And that's kind of now emanating into our movements as well. So we've got this beautiful, continual movement, like the ebbing and flowing of the tide. It goes from side to side to side. Excellent. Let's just do one more each side. Nice and slow. And again. Lovely. And then taking your knees to one side, I'd like you to turn onto that side. So it doesn't matter which one, just turning onto the side. Come into that embryo pose. So that pose is all tucked up. And just pause here. Just allow yourself just a few seconds in this posture. Observe the stillness, observe this tranquility. And then just coming up and over. Come onto all fours to begin with. And again, this mindful, restorative type movement. Just rolling through cat and cow. Close your eyes. Go really slowly, but keep moving, just ever so slowly. Noticing how it feels to stretch out into the back of those shoulders and then to crunch them together and squeeze them. How it feels to roll into the lower back, tucking the tailbone under and then pushing the hip bones away. Squeezing the lower spine, letting the belly drop. And just keep this moving. just for a few moments. And although we're not going to go into any kind of dynamic movement today, you might also feel inspired to move a little bit differently. So maybe you just want to kind of shimmy and shake. Maybe you want to just roll those wrists. You know, if you feel that there's a need anywhere, a little bit of tightness, so you can just shake your shoulders from side to side. You can roll it around, you know, just really feeling any area that's got, it needs a little bit of a stretch out, and you know, just honouring your body, just in preparation for the longer holds of the kind of yin type practice that we're going into. So just preparing, as we would, you know, using Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga, we would do asana before we did pranayama and meditation, and they're the stillness cycles. So with yin being very still, we can just have these little bits of time to stretch out. Maybe sit back into child's pose. Excuse me, coming apart at the seams. And just stretch forwards and release. And while you're here, I'm just lifting my head so you can hear me. While you're here, keep your head down, put your third eye on the ground, connect with the earth. But just take time to prepare mentally for the fact that we're going to be holding some stretches for an amount of time. So just allowing yourself to acknowledge that and be prepared for that. And then coming up, come to sitting. So we'll start with a couple of seated stretches. I have got my bolster here, so grab your bolster, or whatever you're using as a bolster, cushion, pillow, blanket. And let's start into the hips. So just bringing the feet over the top. So you can have the feet on the floor and the knees are supported by the bolster. Now this is a big fat bolster and it doesn't let my knees come down too well, so it doesn't feel particularly comfortable for me. I am going to just go and I've just remembered I've got a foam bolster at the back, so I'm just going to go and get that one in a minute. But just sitting here, and then what you can do is fold forwards and just let the head drop, remembering that restorative yin type yogas are very relaxed. So just kind of slumping down, just letting go of all tension. I'm just going to switch out the big fat one for this one. Okay, and you'll see when I go over this one it's completely different, so I can really manipulate it and squash it and then just relax down and then hold it still and just breathe. Be aware of where your mind is. Are you drifting off with things? Are you in the past? Are you in the future? You know, try and remain here in the present, just letting yourself enjoy this opportunity to be. So just taking a breath, Raising up out of this, maybe just lean back into the hands and just rock the knees from side to side, just feeling how those hips feel, letting them go. And then we're going to flip it around straight onto the tummy. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. And again, this is where having a more pronounced bolster will give you a much stronger back bend. So I'll just take it side on so you can see. So you're going to lean on the bolster and then have the hands over the front, and you can actually come onto the elbows and support the head, and this is going to be really strong on the lower back. If that is too much, and it is a little bit for me with that one, you know, having something a bit squashier, it's just that little bit easier to access. But if that, again, you're feeling like, you know, you've got to hold your head up and you've got this tension and we're going for a more relaxed, go underneath the bolster with the arms. And you can just kind of rest the chin down here. And this becomes more chilled, more yummy. So choosing the way that suits you. And maybe having a little play with all the different suggestions until you find the one that you're happy with. So just taking a breath and releasing and relaxing that posture as well. Again, maybe just taking some little shimmy and shakes in the lower back and in cat-cow. You might want to just kind of come into child's pose just to stretch it out a little way. Maybe we will take child's pose actually and settle into it, because it really does, where we've had that back bend, this is going to counter it now with the forward bend, so it's really beneficial. So feels good to be here. Use the bolster for support. Use blocks if your bolster's really squishy. So again, this is where for me it's good having a choice, because this firmer one is much more supportive and I can switch between the two. It's okay to have your...
This just makes me want to hibernate.
Yes. Yeah, it's so lovely. You can, if you've got your head to one side, that's fine. You can go in the middle. I'll try and give you a half time sort of indicator so you can switch the head if that suits you. So that is about halfway, so if you want to turn the head the other way, if that suits you, then Again, before we move, just kind of mentally preparing, being aware, taking the breath and just moving as we exhale, coming up. So we're going to just do another seated posture here. I'm just going to, forever rearranging things today, I'm just going to turn my mat this way just because the floor is rather cold. This just gives me a little bit of extra padding as well as protection from the cold. So I'm going to sit with my legs extended to the sides in a nice wide open V. And then with regards to the bolster, you can take this to the side as well if you've got a little bit of support here. Hold on to it and lean into it. Or you can put it along the leg and kind of lean down into it. If you don't quite reach, you know, fold up a block or a towel or something, just, yeah, make like a you know, a Jenga stack. And you're looking for it, perfect, yeah, you're looking for that little stretch on the inside of the thigh and just going into it however feels good. And of course, if you know, you haven't got a bolster or it's really not, then you can just sit in this pose and just close your eyes and still access it, just with a little less support.
Where are you flying out to, Joe, tonight?
Tampa.
Ah, so your Florida side.
Yeah, so we're going to our friend's wedding.
Oh, nice.
They're getting married on Sunday, so we're flying out tomorrow for the wedding. Just come on up and just change sides for me. So again, sort of setting up, just take a moment to just see how it is. Let's just come up from this. Again, just maybe pop the bolster in the middle. Feet on the floor, just rocking out those hips. Just feeling those release. And then we'll take it through the middle and then we'll come down to the ground. So again, just kind of leaning into that bolster or popping it down, elbows on, just however you feel that you can be supported. That's it, nice, good. Come on up.
Yeah.
Let's just again, just bring those legs together, just take a bit of a stretch out, release the shoulders off and everything. And then we're going to come down to lying. But what I want you to do, as you've got, if you know that the blanket rolled up, I'm just going to roll mine up. Put it along your spine, so this is like the bolster you have, and put it into your bottom. So I'm going to go side on so you can see. And when you lie down, you can keep your knees bent, but look for the opening of the chest, the squeezing of the shoulder blades. Relax it down, kind of a little bit like lying on a sunbed, I guess, you know. Let the lower back just release. You can do this on a bolster, but of course it's much more pronounced and a lot less comfortable. I do have my foam one here, so that's not too bad, but that's it. And just kind of open the arms, palms up, feel the squeeze of the shoulder blades, feel the openness of the chest, and let that happen. So let's just roll off of that. Come into your embryo. If you remember which embryo you did first go round, maybe try for it. Second go, second side. You don't have to. There's no reason to do things equally. We're not, you know, we're not equal beings. We are very much sided. Pop your bolster under your head maybe and just really settle into this. Let yourself curl up into a ball. So just taking a breath to rise again. We're going to roll over onto our backs. I think I'm going to keep that as a pillow. It's quite nice. We're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So this is going to work the hips and we're going to work through the shoulders and the chest as well. So popping that bolster again, I'm going to go with the softer one under your knees. So similar to what we did seated butterfly, but this time you have the choice. You can pop your feet up on the bolster with your knees then kind of floating in midair. This is going to be a bit stronger on the hips. If you want the support, keep the feet on the ground, of course, and let the bolster support the knees. And then bring the hands underneath the head and let the elbows go wide. And this is going to open up the chest and contract the upper back. So definitely the converse of how we usually work, you know, with phones or with computers or with books or whatever, where we're closed off in the front, we're opening it up here and just working a little bit to stretch out the front. So just again, shuffle and fuffle until you find yourself in a position that your body feels comfortable in. And then just relax that position into your supported Shavasana. So send the legs away, just relax the arms, just let everything settle down. Maybe close the eyes, turn the palms up and just surrender to the ground. So just take a breath when you're ready. Bring some tension back to the body. Bring yourself up to sitting. Hands into prayer, bow the head. Being grateful of this time to practice together. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste.